It's exactly 1,000 days since Boris Johnson became Prime Minister, and he most certainly would not have wished to celebrate that milestone standing up in the House of Commons and once again apologising to the Commons and the country, this time, of course, for the £50 fixed penalty notice he received from the Metropolitan Police last week. It is doing him damage, and we did see the former Chief Whip, Mark Harper, put in a letter of no confidence today. I'll talk about that later on in the programme, but it's not going to force him from office at this particular moment in time. You see, I think there's a bigger story, and one that is actually directly of more concern to you at home right now. And it could not have been better illustrated than by Keith Anderson, the Chief Executive of Scottish Power, talking to a parliamentary committee earlier today.
Set up a new line for people to contact us. We had 8,000 calls last week alone for people coming through on the number with concerns about ability to pay. And that's us just in the first month, the first few weeks. A massive concern from people, a huge amount of anxiety from people on the phones about what they're going to do and the concern they face. And a real worry from them. A lot of people for the first time facing this issue, and they've never been in this position before. Come October, that's going to get horrific, truly horrific. And it's got to a stage now where I honestly believe the size and scale of this is beyond what I can deal with. It's beyond what I think this industry can deal with, and I think it needs a massive shift, significant shift in the government policy and approach towards this.
Well, that was the boss of Scottish Power telling us that by October he believes the situation with energy bills will be, and I quote him, truly horrific. He said it's way beyond his ability to solve, but it is in the hands of government. So what can government do? Well, there are three things really. One, of course, we could start to produce more of our own energy, but we can't do that by October. It will take longer. They could remove the 5% VAT that goes onto our energy bills. That, of course, would be achievable and was a Brexit promise. But the big one, the really big one, is that part of our electricity bill that is known as renewable and social obligations. In short, in simple English, green taxes. And they make up just about 25% of everybody's electricity bill. It's said, on average, that's £153 per household, but in many cases, it's a lot higher than that. Now, there are some hints around media world, around Westminster, some hints that the government is beginning to think that unless we're going to face millions of people defaulting on their bills, maybe the one thing they could do is take off those green taxes. And the debate I want to have tonight is whether that's achievable. Well, I think it isn't just achievable, I think it's desirable. And I think the government have got to do something. They are in far more trouble with the British electorate on the cost of living crisis than they are with Partygate. Of that, I've got no doubt at all. So, I believe they should do this, but politically, is it a reality? Is this politically achievable? Tell me what you think. Farage at GBNews.uk. Maybe you agree it is, or maybe you think it's not, because the Prime Minister is so committed to his net zero obligations that he's not prepared to contemplate it.